What if an entire Arctic expedition vanished without explanation? Only to be discovered frozen in time decades later? No distress signal, no survivors, no confirmed explanation, just silence and ice. Today, we explore one of the most haunting Arctic mysteries ever told, a disappearance that some believe should never have happened, and a discovery that raises even more questions than answers. Arctic exploration has always been dangerous. Extreme cold, unpredictable weather, and isolation that can swallow entire crews without warning. But some expeditions don't just fail, they disappear completely. And this is one of those cases. Why this story matters. Before we begin, understand something important. Stories like this don't survive because of facts alone. They survive because of unanswered questions. Think of this video like Lego pieces. Each moment adds another fragment of a puzzle, and your brain is trying to complete the picture. That's why you're still watching. Snowflake, the final expedition. The expedition began with high expectations. A trained team, modern equipment for its time, and a mission to explore one of the most extreme environments on Earth, the Arctic. They were expected to return. They never did. Satellite antenna last communication. The final transmission was brief, unclear, fragmented, and filled with uncertainty. Then, nothing, no follow-up messages, no emergency signals, no traceable movement, just silence. And that silence became permanent. The disappearance. Search efforts began immediately. Ships scanned the ice. Air teams surveyed vast frozen regions. But there was nothing, no wreckage, no camp, no bodies. It was as if the expedition had been erased from the map. And over time, the case was abandoned. Snowflake, decades later, the discovery. Years passed, then something unexpected happened. A separate Arctic mission reported a strange find deep in the ice. At first, it looked like natural formations, but as they moved closer, shapes began to appear. Man-made shapes, equipment, structures, and something even more unsettling. Signs of human presence preserved in ice, frozen in time. What they found was not just debris, it was a snapshot. Objects frozen exactly where they fell, tools still in place, personal belongings untouched, as if time had stopped in an instant, and at the center of it, remnants believed to belong to the missing expedition. The unanswered question. The most disturbing part was not what was found, but what was. There was no clear cause of collapse, no confirmed environmental trigger, no definitive explanation for what happened, just frozen evidence. And a story that ended mid-sentence. What could have happened? Several theories exist. Some suggest sudden extreme weather, others propose ice collapse or hidden crevasses. More speculative theories suggest disorientation, isolation, or navigation failure in whiteout conditions. But none fully explain the preserved state of the site. And none fully explain the total disappearance beforehand. Brick's story break, why this works. Let's pause for a moment. What makes stories like this powerful is not certainty. Its structure. Each detail builds tension. Each unanswered question increases curiosity. This is the Lego effect in storytelling. You are not being given answers. You are being given pieces. Crossmark why most documentaries fail. Most failed storytelling does one thing wrong. It resolves too early, it explains too fast, and it removes curiosity before it builds. But high-retention storytelling does the opposite. It delays closure. It builds tension, and it forces the viewer to stay for resolution. The ice as a time capsule. One of the most haunting aspects of this discovery is preservation. Ice does not just destroy, it preserves sound, objects, even biological material. Everything trapped becomes part of a frozen archive, which means this expedition was not lost in time. It was held in it. The bigger question: if this expedition can disappear so completely and be preserved so perfectly, then how many other disappearances are still frozen beneath the Arctic? How many stories have already ended, but haven't been found yet? Warning: the final theory. Some researchers suggest a simpler explanation, that the Arctic does not erase evidence. It hides it, layer by layer, year by year, until discovery becomes nearly impossible, and only rare conditions reveal what was once lost. So what really happened to the expedition? Was it an accident, a sudden environmental collapse, or something still not fully understood? The truth is, we may never know for certain, but what we do know is this: the Arctic keeps its secrets, and sometimes it only reveals them when it